Okay, everyone. So again, welcome to our live IELTS class. We are looking at IELTS speaking part 3. We're looking for band 9 powerful answers. Thank you, everyone, for hanging in there. It was a bit of a technical issue with OBS. Welcome, Princess Duke. Hi, Baljit, Nutan, Jainil. Welcome to our members. It's awesome that you guys stuck it out. Again, part 3 focus today, and our materials are coming from aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Check us out there. For general IELTS, visit us at gieltshelp.com. We are going to use our websites today to practice our speaking. So this is our academic IELTS website here at aehelp.com. You can click this big red button to join the premium package, and for general IELTS, click the red button there to join the premium package. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access, and it's well worth it. It doesn't cost a lot of money, and then you'll have a My Student account with computer-based practice exams, speaking practice, and lots more. So we will use that today, as I said, for our speaking practice. Check it out. And you can follow us on Instagram, IELTS_AEHelp and GIELTSHelp. If you have questions, send me an email to adrian@aehelp.com. We've got lots of live IELTS classes today, tomorrow, and on New Year's. Now, let's get into our IELTS speaking part 3. So, speaking part 3 is a continuation from speaking part 2, and we just finished a speaking part 2 class that was talking about an item that we have sold. So this is a continuation of part 2 topic, and the part 2 topic was talk about an item that you have sold. Everybody remembers that was watching the last class what that was? All right. Everybody remember what that class was about? So what did we talk about? What was the item that we sold? All right. Irfan says, it was a freezer. Jihan agrees that that was a freezer. All right, yeah, it was our 60-liter Philips freezer, right? So be specific, students. So we sold our 60-liter used 5-year-old Philips freezer. 60-liter Philips 5 years old freezer. That's right. Okay, so when you give an answer for part 2, the examiner will follow up with some question that they've been thinking about while you were giving your answer. So the examiner might ask you a question like, how do you like your new freezer? Because remember that we said that we were planning to upgrade and we bought a new freezer. So give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. How do you like your new freezer? Okay, give me a nice full sentence answer. Let's kick off the speaking part 3, and I will give you strategies as we work through these answers. First one, give an answer, an explanation, and an example. Okay? All right? So, give me a nice full sentence. I'm going to do this while you give an answer, and then we'll compare, okay? So, I love my new Whirlpool freezer. I can finally fit all of my produce in it, and I don't have to worry about cleaning it every month. not to mention that it is already saving me some money. My hydro bill, or you can say utility bill, was $20 cheaper last month. All right, so there's my answer, explanation, and example. Queen Me is asking about some books. Queen Me, send me an email. Claude says, I like it because it's very big compared with my old one. Claude, that's a good start, but you want to explain that a little bit more to get a higher band score. Jaqueen says, I like my new freezer. It has more capacity and better technology, like a screen on it with information about the temperature and humidity. Humidity means moisture content, right? Jihan says, it's working perfectly fine since I bought it. I can cool any drinks or food in a shorter time than with my old freezer, and it's an energy-saving appliance. Jihan, be really careful with your grammar, but your ideas are good. Nuthan says, since I was waiting to upgrade my freezer, I was very excited with my new freezer with an increased capacity of 100 liters, so I can store more items now. I was able to fit 20 frozen pizzas in it last week. Okay, so give an example, Nuthan, and don't repeat the word freezer, freezer, freezer. Try to avoid repetition, students, okay? All right. Anirban says, I absolutely adore my new freezer as it is much bigger in volume and has a smarter technology. Yes, just yesterday, I used it to get instant ice cubes, which is mind-blowing. I love it. Anirban, that is a great answer, okay? Here is my answer, students. So again, repeat the question and the answer, and then we'll get right into it. So how do you like your new freezer? I love my new Whirlpool freezer. I can finally fit all my produce in it, and I don't have to worry about cleaning it every month. Not to mention that it is already saving me some money. My utility bill was $20 cheaper last month. And of course, all of this makes sense because in our part 2, we said that the reason we sold our old one was to get a new one so that it's self-cleaning and so that it is more power saving, so it uses less energy. Okay? All right, so be ready for that question following your answer. The examiner will ask you a question that's connected to your part 2 response, and then they'll continue with something like this. Let's talk about buying and selling. Okay? Now again, remember students, you have to give an answer plus explanation plus example, okay, and lots of detail. So think details, but do not overspeak. Okay, so don't just keep speaking until the examiner stops you. That is not a good idea. Give an answer, give an explanation, and give an example. All right, so that's my tip 1, and we're going to practice that. So I want to do lots of practice in this speaking class because this is our 3rd speaking class this week. I've given many students lots of ideas on how to get those band 7, 8, 9 scores. So now we're going to invest a bit more time on practice. Students, connect your answers too. So connect to part 2. Whenever you can, make a connection to the freezer that you talked about in part 2. Okay, everyone, so this is what you have to do to speak with me, to volunteer. You can see that I put on a headset. If you have a headset, that's great. Okay, so to volunteer, follow these steps. Number 1, register a free or paid account at aehelp.com. I'll show you how to do that in a second. Log into your My Student account. Click on Student Partner Speaking, and very importantly, enable your microphone in your browser. By the way, students, if for some reason this isn't working for you, try a different browser. So if you're using Chrome and it's not working, you're like, oh, what's going on? Try Firefox, okay? If it's not working for Firefox, try something else. The same thing with Apple. If it's not working in Safari, try something else, okay? Keep the window open and then message me in the class, or better yet, message me in the chat with the blue envelope, okay? You're going to see me as master, okay? So you're going to see master in there, that is our central administrative account. So that's where you want to message me, okay? All right, so let me show you how to do this exactly again as I walk through it. So this is our website at aehelp.com. Okay, it's our academic IELTS help website. You can join the premium package by clicking the red button, okay? And you can join the free version by clicking this green try demo button, okay? Once you set up your account, it's really easy to set up your account. Then you click on this My Student account at the very, very top of this screen. So My Student account. You're in your My Student account and you see all these goodies, the computer-based IELTS exam. Actually, you'll only see all of them when you have the premium package, but you'll see some of these items in the free version. And then you're going to see this student partner speaking right there. And you also have this student interview practice. This one is a paid service. You can book a mock IELTS speaking interview with feedback and scoring, okay, when you need it. But for now, we're using this one, the student partner speaking. So I'm going to click on this student partner speaking, and then I have to accept the terms that I'm going to be polite and I'm responsible for my words, okay. So I accept that, and you will be in another window, and that another window there is the chat interface where you have text, audio, video. For this session with me in the live class, we're using audio only. I cannot use video in two different software at the same time, so we're using audio only, okay? And so we have got lots of students in here already. And then you see that little blue envelope. So you click on that blue envelope and you say, I'd like to volunteer. And then I will click and check, and then I'll ask you some questions. We even have my name twin in here today, Adrian. But you will see me as master, okay? So I can see Rupinder, Abdul is looking to volunteer, Mandy is looking to volunteer, Hasna is looking to volunteer. Now I haven't forgotten what I had said. I did say that I will be looking for Khyber and Jihan from last class. So Jihan, as soon as you send me a message, I'll look for that, okay? There we go. So Jihan, one of our members, has an exam coming soon. So let's see if Jihan is ready to go here. Are you ready? Okay, and I've got lots of people sending me messages, which is awesome. So I'll get to many people today because we've got lots of time. We're starting early, okay? So hang in there, and I'll get to you with a question as soon as I can, okay? So here we go with Jihan. Jihan, make sure you mute YouTube once I connect here, okay?
Hello.
Hi, Jihan.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you. I'm glad that we're finally able to connect.
Yeah, me too. I've been following you for over a month now.
Oh, wow, that's fantastic. And where are you right now, Jihan?
I'm in Lebanon, in the suburbs of Beirut, in a region called Marrucos.
Wow, nice answer. Yeah, great. I know exactly where you are. Okay, that's fantastic. Yeah, that's the kind of detail, by the way, that you want to give in your IELTS exam. Okay, so perfect. That's a great start. Okay, Jihan, so you have a test coming soon, right? You said in 2 weeks?
Yes, it is on the 15th of January.
Okay, great. May I ask, why are you taking the IELTS exam?
Because honestly, I want to move to Canada.
Okay.
the upcoming year, hopefully,
Okay.
and work there.
That's a great goal. Yeah, Canada is definitely a good country to live in and enjoy life in. I can understand why you have that goal. Absolutely. Okay, so let me help you on that journey. We'll go to the speaking part 3, and I will ask you a question. Just give me a nice full answer, okay? And then I'll give you some feedback. Sounds good?
Yes, let's go.
Awesome. Okay, so here we go. Let's talk about buying and selling. What are the most common ways that people these days buy products and merchandise?
One of the common ways that people are using these days is the internet because it's easy, it's affordable. Anyone can log in on their smartphones or on their computer and buy something. Um, Last week, I bought myself a shirt from a nearby store, but since I didn't have time to shop there, I opted for the option of the online shopping.
Okay, nice fluency. I couldn't keep up with you with my typing, which
Okay,
is
I
very good.
can.
All right, no, that was great. Okay, so let me give you some feedback. That was fantastic. All right, so your answer would be, I think, a band 7 at this point. So just based on that one answer. But I actually think you can get better. So I think that your speaking is definitely a 7.5. You just need to make a couple of small adjustments. Okay, not a lot, just some small adjustments. And I think you can do that very quickly as long as you practice and pay attention to that. So let me give you feedback. So the question was, what are the most common ways that people these days buy products and questions should be services, but that's fine. Okay. So you said one of the most common ways that people are using these days. So your start was really good because you were reflecting the question. Okay, so you said one of the most common ways, and that tells me that you clearly understood I was asking you about what are the most common ways, right? Now, to make that a little bit better, you want to paraphrase it if you can, okay? What's another way to say common ways?
One of the frequently used means.
Okay, yep,
I
yep,
don't
very
know.
good. So one of the frequently used methods, okay, instead of ways you could say methods. So one of the frequently used methods, and then you said that people are using these days. That was a bit awkward, so using wouldn't be the right choice of verb there. It's a bit confusing, it's a bit awkward. So one of the frequently used methods for purchasing goods or
Okay,
services.
purchasing.
Okay, so using, because I think what you confused in your thinking, maybe it's because you're a bit nervous or because your mind was rushing about ideas and the English was slipping at the same time, but I think you were thinking about using the internet for purchasing or buying goods and services, but you didn't actually get the verb to purchase or buy into the sentence there, and that was awkward, okay? So one of the frequently used methods for purchasing goods or services is through the internet. And
Okay.
then you said because, and very good, you went right into an example, or sorry, you went right into an explanation. So immediately you said because, which leads you into an explanation, and that's really good. You said because it's easy and affordable. Affordable is okay. It takes a little bit of intuition whether you're talking about the internet being affordable or buying goods and services through the internet is affordable. So it's easy and merchandise is cheaper, I would say. So I would make that a little bit clear for the listener because we can guess, like a person can guess that you mean it's the products that are cheaper, but the way that you said it, it sounds like it could mean that the internet is cheaper. Do you see what I mean? So
Yes, what I meant is that it's a way that's it's popular to use your phone or the internet, which is cheap,
Yeah, yeah. So
relatively to going to a shop and looking for an item and
so you mean it's
you know
cheaper to use the internet
it's
because you're saving time and money by not having to go to the store, right?
yeah, and because everyone has access to internet, almost everyone.
Okay, yeah, so you have to create clarity there. And my advice, if you have that kind of a complex idea, you might want to just simplify it, right? So, see how I wasn't absolutely clear on what you meant, because what I thought you actually meant is that the goods or services on the internet are often cheaper. Why? Because it's true, there's more products, there's more competition, so you can often buy products for cheaper on the internet than in a store as well, right? So it's a tricky one. So you want to kind of simplify your idea. So the internet, because it's easy, and let's just say merchandise is cheaper. Okay. Um, Now, you said anyone can log in on the computer or smartphone. I would give maybe a bit more detail here to an online shop like Amazon and buy. Always avoid the word something. Okay, so think about the noun that you're talking about, and instead of saying something, use a more specific noun. So, what should you say instead of something?
Items
Yeah,
or services
yeah,
or
yeah.
courses.
Exactly, right? It's just almost any
More
word is better than
specifically.
something, right? So, and byproducts.
Okay.
Right? The reason why you want to avoid words like something is because then you use a better noun, and then by using that better noun, you get more marks for lexical resource.
Relevance.
So, exactly.
Okay.
So, and by products. And then you said last week, I bought a beautiful shirt, keep it simple, at a bargain price. Okay. So now there's more clarity, and now
Okay.
you're picking up more band scores. So I'm going to read the question, the response, and then I'll say the question again. Give me the response, and then we'll go from there. Sounds good?
Yeah, it sounds good. I think I have to lower my resolution on YouTube.
Yeah, so the best setting, because we have very low latency on YouTube, so use 720 or lower, 480 even. It's fine, okay? So here we go. What are the most common ways that people these days buy products and services? One of the frequently used methods for purchasing goods or services is through the internet because it's easy and merchandise is cheaper. Anyone can log on their computer or smartphone to an online shop like Amazon and buy products. Last week I bought a beautiful shirt at a bargain price. Okay, here we go. What are the most common ways that people these days buy products or services? Okay, and I think, Jihan, while you were changing your resolution on YouTube, you might have been disconnected. So that could have happened, but I'm guessing you're probably repeating this right now. Let me just check what happened with you there, and then we'll see. Yeah, if there's too many moving parts, students, right? So let me jump back here. Okay, I'm going to hang up, Jihan, for now, and then I'll try to give you a call back so that you can practice repeating this. Just a moment. Be patient, everyone. Here we go.
Yes, hello
Hi,
again.
Jihan. Yeah. I think when you were changing your settings, you probably got disconnected, right?
Yes, somehow, but I was hearing waves of radio frequency.
Yeah, that happens. I mean, technology is quite complex, right? Okay, so I'll ask you the question again and then just repeat what I just said, okay? All right, ready?
Sure.
Okay, so what are the most common ways that people these days buy products and services?
One of the common ways, can you hear me?
I can,
Yes?
yes. Mhm.
Oh, okay. One of the common ways that nowadays people use to buy products and services is through the internet because it's easy and the merchandise is cheaper. Um, Last week I bought a nice shirt from an online shop and it fitted me well.
Okay, good. So that was somewhat similar to what I said. That was better, so that was clearer. Okay, it was more comprehensible. So that's what you want to focus on, Jihan. Okay, we'll practice some more in coming classes, but keep that up. Okay, so be precise with your nouns and be precise with your verbs, and then you'll get a higher band score. Okay.
Okay, that was a band 7 then.
Yeah, so that would be around a band 7. Yeah, with that fluency that you showed. So it'd be a 6.5 to 7. Okay, if I heard a bit more.
Okay,
Okay. All right. Keep it up though.
thank
All right.
you.
You're very welcome. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right. So that was Jihan, everyone. Give her an applause. A calling from Lebanon. She was very brave to be our first volunteer in this class. All right. Let's take someone else. So here we have Ali. Let's see if we can reach out to Ali. So are you ready? I'm not sure if Kyber's in here, but I'll be looking for Kyber as well. So let's see. Okay. All right. So Ali, if you're there, I'm reaching out to you now, and let's practice some speaking part 3. Just respond with yes, I'm ready, and then I can give you a call. All right, Ali's good to go. Yeah, and students, set YouTube to 720p for a better picture because we're doing almost real-time streaming here.
Hi.
Hi, Ali.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Ali, where are you right now, may I ask?
I'm in Istanbul.
In Istanbul, in Turkey. Awesome. Okay. So, Ali, are you ready to practice a part 3 speaking question?
Yes, I am.
Fantastic. Okay, let's do it. So I will ask you the question. Just give me a nice full sentence answer, explanation, example. And if you watched our last class talking about the freezer, maybe try to make a connection. Okay? All
Sure.
right. Okay. So here we go. Let's do this one. Some people like to hold on to their belongings as long as possible, while others like to sell items that they no longer use. Why is there this difference?
Would you like to repeat again?
Yes, some people like to hold on to their belongings as long as possible, while others like to sell items they no longer use. Why is there this difference?
Well, most of the items they need to use for their daily life, but there are some items that they no longer they could use. For example, there was a lot of items in my home that I didn't use, and I sell it on online apps like Let Go, and yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, so Ali, great effort, first of all. Okay, I could tell that was a challenging question, right? And that's part 3. Some questions seem a little bit easier. Some questions can seem quite challenging, of course, because they're testing for band 8, band 9 as well, right? So don't be surprised if you get this kind of question. Now, you said, can you repeat that? Which is okay, and it's okay to ask for a question to be repeated, all right? So if you do that, do it in a polite way, and even with that, be fluent. So say, I didn't quite catch the question. Could you please repeat it? Okay, so show some nice fluency with that. I didn't quite catch the question. Could you please repeat it? Can you try that?
I didn't quite catch the question. Could you please repeat again?
Yeah, absolutely. So then you're nice and fluent because it's fair. I mean, even myself, I might not catch a question like this the first time it's asked, right? And then you gave an answer, and your answer was kind of close, but it didn't quite answer the question. Okay, so this question is asking why some people like to sell their used belongings, their used objects, and other people don't like to sell their used objects. They like to just hold them, right? So the question is asking you like why do some people like to sell used objects? Why do some people not like to sell used objects, right? So you want to give a little bit more accurate answer here. And you said most of the items you need, okay? So don't use the word you, all right? That's a big no-no. All right, that's second person voice and it makes for lower level of communication. So you want to use people. Okay, so most of the items people need for their daily life, but there are some items that they no longer use, so they decide to sell these, right? So let's do this again. I'm going to fix up your answer a little bit so it's more accurate and it makes better sense. Okay, so well, most of the items people need for their daily life, but there are some items that they no longer use. So they decide to sell these to free up space in their home and make back a bit of money. However, other people are sentimental. Do you know this word sentimental?
It's a value that has like, for example, family photos have a sentimental value for me.
Exactly, yeah. So sentimental means that it has like a personal value, some kind of a feeling or a memory that's attached to it. So, however, other people are sentimental and they attach memories and feelings to their belongings, so they do not like to sell them even after they become useless. Okay, and then don't say for example. As soon as you say for example, the IELTS, if you say for example or for instance once or twice in the interview, it's not a big deal, but you have to be careful because examiners are a little bit scared about this expression for example. They think that the student will just talk and give a long story and go off topic. So instead what you want to do is just give a quick and easy example. All right, so you can give something like this. My mom still has 5 bags of my baby clothes because she just can't let go of these. Okay, and that's a very direct, clear example of how somebody just holds on to the belongings because they're attaching so much sentimental value to it. Okay, all right, so that's going to get you a much better band score. Let me repeat the question, the answer, and then I'll ask you the question again and repeat the answer. Does that sound good, Ali?
Oh, okay.
All right, so some people like to hold on to their belongings as long as possible, while others like to sell items they no longer use. Why is there this difference? Well, most of the items people need for their daily life, but there are some items they no longer use, so they decide to sell these to free up space in their home and make back a bit of money. However, other people are sentimental and they attach memories and feelings to their belongings, so they don't like to sell them even after they become useless. My mom still has 5 bags of my baby clothes because she just can't let go of these. Okay, so some people like to hold on to their belongings as long as possible, while others like to sell items they no longer use. Why is there this difference? Whenever you're ready, Ali, go ahead.
Okay, okay. Well, most of items people need to for their daily life, but there are some items that they no longer use, so they decide to sell these to free up space and their home and make back a bit of money. However, other people are sentimental and they attach memories and feelings to their belongings they do not like to sell them even after they become unsells. I can't see it. I'm lost.
Useless.
Useless still has have some still have 5 bags of my baby clothes because I can't see it.
She just can't let go of these.
Yeah, I don't have stable internet today, and it's
No
hard for me.
worries. Which brings me to another good tip, and this is for everybody. So when you're practicing, Ali, don't try to focus on memorizing the words so much, but focus more on the content, right? So focus more on, okay, some people, they use their belongings in daily life, but they don't have a lot of space in their home and they need some money, so eventually they sell these. Other people, they attach memories and feelings, so they hold on to all of their belongings. My mom still has 5 bags of baby clothes. So focus on the content rather than the exact words, because you can say it in a few different ways, right? It's the content that's important, okay?
Oh, okay. Thank you.
All right. You're very welcome, Ali. Keep up the good work. And I hope everybody out there is listening and repeating as we're doing this practice, because this applies to a lot of other people as well. Thanks, Ali, for volunteering, and I hope that I continue to see you in the class.
Thank you. I will be there next time.
Awesome. Thanks, Ali. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Okay, so that was Ali. All right, let's take somebody else. So let me just kind of roll through here. Okay, I think Kishanjit is one of our members as well. And I want to give an opportunity here. So let's see. Kishanjit, are you ready? Okay. So we've had Lebanon, we've had Turkey. Let's see where we are now in the world with Kishanjit. All right. So Kishanjit, if you are there, let me know. I'm just sending you, or I'm reaching out to you right now. If you're ready, let me know that you are ready. All right. I don't really see you anymore in here, Kishanjit, so maybe you've left for some food or a walk. All right. I will reach out to somebody else here. Let's see. Okay. Loon. Okay, let's see if Loon is in here. All right, Loon. Are you ready? All right, and just message me once, students. It's a little bit easier for me to see, especially when there are so many of you in here. So just write one time, I'd like to volunteer, and that's enough. I'll kind of randomly pick different people. Okay, so Loon, if you can hear me, if you're still in the chat here, let me know that you're ready, and I will call you. Okay. Loon says, I'm here. All right. Okay, Loon. That's good enough for me. So here we go.
Hi,
Hi, Loon. How are you?
I'm doing well. Yeah,
Awesome, Loon. If I remember correctly, we've had a short discussion before, have we not?
yeah, we did.
Okay,
Maybe a few days ago. Yeah,
a few days ago. That's great. So you're being consistent. That's good. Consistency
yeah.
is key to success. And if I remember correctly, you're in Vietnam.
Mm, not actually, but in the Asia. Yeah.
You're in, sorry. Okay, so where are you?
I I'm in the Taiwan.
Oh, you're in Taiwan. Okay, that's way off.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a flight difference there.
In
Okay,
the
so
midnight.
all right, you're in Taiwan. All right, my bad.
Yeah.
All right, Loon. So I will ask you a part 3 question. Give me a nice full sentence answer, okay?
Okay.
All right. Yeah, it's late in your country and you're still studying, hardworking. That's good.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Here we go. What are ways to sell used goods?
For me, nowadays, youngest almost post the items they no need in their daily life on the internet, such as Amazon or Shopee, on the some kind of Facebook market. But for the August, for my parents, they almost buy some new items, or they don't need a second hand item. They will go to the second hand market. Just so
How
away
has
from my home.
technology helped in buying and stuff? Okay, so I'm interrupting you there, Loon, and
Okay.
there's a reason for that. The reason I'm interrupting you is because you're going off topic. So you're starting to tell me about your parents' buying behavior and how they buy items new.
In the sale.
Yeah, the question focuses really on what are ways to sell used goods, right? And you understood that because the start of your answer I could tell was about how to sell used items, right? So you said
young people, yeah.
yeah. So you said on Facebook Marketplace and so on. So once you've answered the question, don't go off topic and start talking about the opposite, like buying new items or buying other items, because then the examiner will interrupt you, and that's really awkward, and then it's hard to hear the next question. So when you feel like you've finished, then just stop, okay? All right, now, in the beginning, I had a little bit of trouble understanding what you were saying because of your pronunciation, okay?
Yeah.
So really focus on clean, crisp pronunciation. Definitely do a little bit of pronunciation practice when you have time. So focus on English phonetics, okay? And really just kind of, I know, especially for a lot of people who speak Asian languages like Chinese or Japanese, Cantonese, Mandarin. Yeah, Mandarin. It's tough, right? The pronunciation's quite different. So you have to really just force yourself. Like if it feels awkward, then you're on the right path. It should feel weird, okay? For a native English speaker, like when I try to pronounce, words in Mandarin like "shay shay" and things like that, it feels weird for me as well. It's like, oh, really? So if it feels weird, it's good. You're on the right track, okay? And then it will start to feel normal and natural, okay? Now, because of that, it's even more important that you focus on giving very clear, structured information, okay? So for me, nowadays, most people are selling. Do you know what another way to say used goods is?
Used good, like a second hand.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and just especially when you're targeting the topic word, really emphasize the pronunciation. So for me nowadays, most people are selling second-hand items online. Okay, now I kind of found that your explanation was missing. So why do you think people sell secondhand items online? So what's the reason to sell secondhand items online?
They no longer need this item.
Okay, so they don't need it, right?
Yeah.
But here we're not focusing on the reason they're selling it, but we're focusing more on the platform that they're using, so the method that they're using.
The way of,
yeah, so here we're focusing more on the online sales. So to ask you the question a little bit clearer, why are people selling their items online?
Yeah. Okay.
What do you think?
Because they think it's a very convenient way to sell. Just online store very popular in common
Okay,
in these
don't
days.
rush your thoughts. Yeah, so you're on the right track. It's convenient. And what you want to do is you want to continue thinking along this logic, right? So why is the internet convenient to sell an item?
Because youngest have a digital skill on the computer, yeah, and very convenient to access information through the internet. Yeah, so probably yeah, it's a better way.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a big market, right? So selling
Yeah.
items through the internet, you have a big market. There are a lot of users. A lot of people will see the products, right?
Yeah.
So make sure that when you're giving explanations, you really take that second to think about like why the internet, right? There are a lot of customers. It's easy to reach the customers, easy to communicate with them.
Yeah.
And often the buyers come directly to the house of the person to pick up the item, drop off the money. So think about that, visualize it, right? So here's a little bit of a better answer, okay? So for me nowadays, most people are selling secondhand items online because it is convenient. Since many people have computer skills, there is a big market. And then you can give your example. People use, and then I like how you said Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
So Facebook Marketplace, I just sold my laptop this way, my used laptop, right? Reflecting the question again, my used laptop this way last week. And that's it, right? So don't overcomplicate it. Okay, so focus on really clear information, and that will also help to make your pronunciation more understandable for the listener. Okay, all right. Okay, so here we go. Let me repeat the question, and then I'll give you the answer, and then copy the answer, okay?
Okay.
All right, so what are ways to sell used goods? For me, nowadays, most people are selling secondhand items online because it is convenient since many people have computer skills and there's a big market. People use Facebook Marketplace. I just sold my used laptop this way last week. Okay, what are ways to sell used goods?
For me nowadays, most people are selling the second-hand items online because it's convenient. Since many people have a computer skill and there is a big market for many customers. People use Facebook Marketplace. I just sold my used laptop this way last week. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, and don't, so try, I know it's become a part of your diction, but be really careful with saying yeah constantly. So that's very common. I hear that with a lot of Asian clients and students as well, where they say yeah, 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 but we don't use yeah quite that much in natural English. So try to focus on reducing that, okay, when you're doing your practice, all right? Just to give you an idea, your first answer was like a band 5, but your second answer was clearly a 6.5. So I think depending on what you say, you can really improve your band score, okay?
Yeah, maybe I need to work out my voice.
And even so it's a combination. It's not just, I think too many people stress too much about pronunciation, but not enough about the content. So I think it's a combination of working on both pronunciation and content together to maximize your score, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Loon, and have a great night in Taiwan.
Okay, it's useful. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. All right, everyone. So give Loon an applause. That was fantastic, right? You have to be very brave. Yeah, pronunciation is important, but it's not the end of the world if you don't have super clear pronunciation. It's more important that you have really good content, really good answers to quickly improve your scores. All right, let's take somebody else. Okay. So let's see. Here we go. Let's see if Vaidahi is still with us. Okay, here we go, Vaidahi. So I'm going to reach out to you. Vaidahi has an exam on the 8th of January. What a way to start the new year. Okay, Vaidahi, are you ready? Hopefully Vaidahi's ready. I'm going to put a couple extra minutes on the class today because we had a bit of a technical issue starting everyone, so hang in there. All right, Vaidahi is ready. Okay, Vaidahi, here we go.
Hello.
Hi, Vaidahi.
Yeah, hi, sir.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for asking. Vaidahi, may I ask, where are you right now in this big, beautiful world of ours?
Sir, I'm from India,
Okay.
from New Delhi.
From New Delhi. All right, very, very famous city in the world. I'm sure many people know it. Yeah. New Delhi has the same population, I think, as just about most of Canada. So it's a big city indeed. All right, so we've had Lebanon, we've had Turkey, we've had Taiwan, and now we're in India. Awesome, Vaidahi. So I will ask you a part 3 question. Just give me a nice full sentence answer, and then I'll give you some feedback. How does that sound?
Yes, sir. Sure.
Okay, awesome. All right, here we go. So, how has technology helped in buying and selling of merchandise?
Okay. Basically, we have technologically very advanced by time. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Can I start again?
Sure.
Yeah. So basically, we are technologically very advanced nowadays. So yeah, technology is helped us in buying and selling merchandise. Like we are able to use internet as a way of selling and buying stuff. And as technology has advanced, people are able to use smartphones, laptops, computers. People are much more advanced in the way that they are able to access different things online.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Let me just finish this up. They can access different things online. All right. Okay, so good. Okay, you started, and then I could feel you're nervous, and then you're like, okay, I've got to restart here. This isn't making sense. That was good. Okay, so it's good to correct yourself. If you feel like you're not making sense to your examiner, you're probably not making sense, and you want to stop because there's no point in continuing if you're not making sense. So that was good. Is that kind of what you felt, like you're not making sense?
Yes.
Yeah, and then you restarted, and it was
Also,
much clearer. The second
something
this.
at the same time. Yes, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so the second time was definitely much clearer. Okay, I would recommend doing it in a little bit of a different way. So you ask like, "Can I start again?" Okay, and then of course the examiner, in most cases, the examiner will say yes, of course, or please go ahead. But instead of doing that, instead of asking if you can start again, just state that you're going to start again. Okay, so this is a tip for everybody. So instead of saying like, "Can I start again?" Okay, so don't do it that way. But instead, you can say this. Okay, so I'm a bit nervous, and I'm not making much sense. So just explain what's happening, right? I'm not making much sense. Let me start again.
Okay.
That's very natural. Native speakers do that as well. Like they'll say, let me, if you want to keep it even simpler, you can just use this end piece. Let me start that again. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's often how a native speaker will restart in this kind of a situation. So they'll just say, let me start that again. Okay, and then they'll start again. So basically, we are technologically very advanced these days, so technology has helped us in buying and selling merchandise. Okay, I like how you use the present perfect has helped us, okay, in buying and selling merchandise. That was good. Now, I guess you were in the class earlier, right? When Loon and some of the others were answering the questions. Were you in the class?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. So they talked a little bit about using technology for these purposes. Remember? So they talked about using, like Loon just talked about using Facebook Marketplace to help people sell used merchandise, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what you want to do, and I know that you weren't the previous people, right? So it's a little bit trickier. But what you want to do in your IELTS exam is you want to connect these answers. So you want to say something like, as I just mentioned,
Okay.
most people sell their secondhand belongings online through apps. Okay, so when you make a connection like that, it makes your communication more coherent and more connected, so you get a higher band score. Okay, you did have a little bit of repetition in your answer, and you used the word stuff. Never use the word stuff. Okay, stuff is a very weak, very, very weak slang noun in English. You can use slang, just don't use the word stuff. Okay. Stuff is
Okay.
considered a very poor word choice in English, okay? So buy and sell goods. Any word is better than that, okay?
Okay.
Okay, and then you said people can use their laptop and computer. People are much more advanced in the way that they can access different things online. Don't use the word things, okay? Things and stuff, they don't have meaning. They're just stuff and they're just things, right? So you always want to find a better noun. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Now, also avoid repetition. So what you told me basically is that technology has become advanced and people like using technology for buying and purchasing. But that's basically all you told me. You didn't really tell me why this is or how this has really revolutionized the exchange of goods or consumerism, right? The buying and selling of goods. And you didn't give me an example. So you need that detail to get those high band scores. Okay. All right. So let's take out let's take the first part of what you said. Okay. And then let's take that connection, we'll copy that, and then we'll fix it up a little bit. Okay. So basically, we are technologically very advanced these days. So gadgets and software have helped us in buying and selling merchandise. As I just mentioned, most people are selling their secondhand belongings through online apps. Technology or tech has also helped in finding the right product at a good price. There are hundreds of customer reviews and thousands of virtual stores. I bought the perfect freezer. Were you in part 2 for last class?
Yes.
Oh, you were? Okay, great. So remember we talked about that freezer that we bought? So I bought the perfect freezer after looking at online reviews. Okay, so keep remembering all of that information that came before. Okay, so all the information in part 2 and all of the other questions in part 3 can really help you give better answers. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here we go. I'm going to repeat this question and then the answer and then copy the answer, okay?
Okay, sir.
All right, so let me see where we are. How has technology helped in the buying and selling of merchandise? So basically, we are technologically very advanced these days, and gadgets and software have helped us in purchasing and reselling merchandise. As I just mentioned, most people sell secondhand belongings through online apps. Tech has also helped in finding the right products at a good price. There are hundreds of customer reviews and thousands of virtual stores. I bought the perfect freezer after looking at online reviews. Okay,
Yes.
so how has technology helped in the buying and selling of merchandise?
So basically, we are technologically very advanced in these days. So gadgets and software have helped us in buying and selling merchandise. As I just mentioned, most people sell their second-hand belonging through online apps. Tech has also helped in finding the right product at a good price. There are hundreds of customer reviews and thousands of virtual stores. Recently, I bought a perfect freezer after looking at online reviews.
Yeah, that was great. So as long as you can produce that level of speech, you're well on your way to even like a band 8, band 9. Okay, and I'm sure you kind of felt that while you were saying that. When we give the right answer, we feel it that it's the right answer. We're like, oh yeah, okay, that answers the person's question. Did you kind of feel like, oh, there, I really answered that question?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Actually, I was not able to go around the able to form that answer which the question was asking for. So
Yeah,
I guess
and
I just gave a very vague answer. I wasn't able to pinpoint all the things.
yeah,
Like
all the
exactly.
details. Avoid the word things. All the details, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and see, I can tell that you have good vocabulary because, for instance, right now you use the word vague, and vague is good vocabulary. So not everybody knows that word vague. So I can tell you have good vocabulary. You just need to apply it in the right content and the right information. And I think that with practice, that will come. So really focus on the quality of your answers. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right, great job, and again, very brave of you, Vaidahi, to volunteer. Everybody, please give Vaidahi a bit of an applause. That was really good of Vaidahi to volunteer there. Okay, thank you so
Okay,
much,
sir.
Vaidahi. Bye bye. Okay, so that was Vaidehi. That was really good. Okay, so we've seen lots of different styles of speaking, and hopefully, one of the big kind of tips or one of the key notes that everybody is observing here is that basically there are two ways to think about improving your IELTS band score. One of them is through improving the language features like grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation. Sure, that usually takes time. So it takes time to improve grammar, vocabulary. The other way, okay, so the other approach to getting that higher band score is content. So it's the accuracy of communication. It's how specifically you answer the question and how well you structure that answer. So answer, explanation, example. Right? Work on both of those. So don't just work on language elements like vocabulary and grammar, but work on the communication content of your answers together. Okay? Communication is usually the faster way to improve your band score. Does that make sense for everybody? And by the way, thank you for the claps, everyone. I can see that there's a lot of support to all of our volunteers out there. So does that make sense for everyone? So work on language and work on communication. Put the two together and you'll get a better band score. Okay? All right? Hopefully that's clear. Okay, don't just focus on one. Focus on both. And if I had to, if somebody said, well, which one should I focus on more? I would say focus more on communication. Okay, you don't need a lot of words and you don't need a lot of grammar for great communication as long as you know how to communicate well. Okay? All right. And I can see some agreements there. Okay, everyone, I'm going to stop there for today. So again, visit us on our websites at aehelp.com for academic IELTS and gieltshelp.com for general IELTS. We'll have more speaking this week, so if you didn't have a chance to volunteer today, you'll have more chances later in the week. And of course, if you're willing to, then spend a couple of dollars online and you can book a practice IELTS speaking interview with me by clicking this speaking interview practice button, the yellow one. And then you can do a full interview. It's 30 minutes. You get feedback, you get correction, you get score estimates. So do that, all right? Okay, everyone, that's it for now. I will be back tomorrow. I hope everybody has a fantastic rest of the day wherever you are in this big world of ours. Much love to all of you. Remember, you're all smart, beautiful people. Don't ever let anyone try to convince you otherwise. Okay, happiness starts from within. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from Victoria for now. Thanks to all of our viewers, our members. Thank you, Carolina, for moderating the chat. Bye, everyone.